Meanwhile, let's talk jobs. Jobs today. Jobs. New details about this jobs plan the President of the United States is set to unveil next month. CNN's Jessica Yellen, our senior White House correspondent, has learned that the President will propose new legislation involving targeted tax cuts for employers to encourage them to hire new workers. Also, new jobs creating infrastructure investments, plus long-term help for those unemployed. Today in Atlanta, Georgia, people lining up very, very early by the hundreds for this jobs fair sponsored by the Congressional Black Caucus. And several addressed the recent criticism that the president has not focused on minority unemployment.
He had to give the money to Wall Street as opposed to giving it to jobs. And now that that has happened, where the rich have gotten richer and the poor have gotten poorer, now we see the backlash of that, such as what we see right here today.
I think the president has a lot on his hands. I understand a lot of people probably have that thing that, well, since he's black, he should be helping out his people. But just because he's the president doesn't mean he can always be there.
I think his priorities are to make sure that he tackles all the issues that are facing America and not just black America.
Well, joining me now from that jobs fair live, we have Congressman John Lewis, Democrat from Georgia. Congressman Lewis, nice to see you. You know, it's important to point out that the Black Caucus is holding all these fairs in major cities around the U.S., essentially with the goal of finding work for 10,000 people. Can we be specific, though? What kinds of jobs are we talking about here, Congressman?
We're talking about jobs. Hundreds and thousands of people have been standing here all day today, since early this morning, trying to get a job. People want to work. We had one company made a commitment of 60 jobs. We need more than 60. We need thousands of jobs here in Atlanta for people to stand in the hot Georgia sun all day in long lines. It says something about how desperate people are to work. People would take almost any job.
Certainly people are desperate, but can you be more specific? Are we talking manufacturing sector? Are we talking health, education? What kinds of jobs can you help offer up?
Well, we're trying to get jobs in all of these areas: health, education, manufacturing, transportation. Georgia is a center of health and education. We have all these colleges and universities, research. I met young people, young students, 4 young men who graduated from college at the same time. One young lady who's working on her PhD, but she cannot get a job. That is a shame. That is a disgrace.
Let me ask you this, Congressman, because based upon her comments last night, also today, your colleague, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, she seems to be among the group saying, you know, that the president has been absent when it comes to black unemployment specifically. I want to listen to her. She spoke today on CNN.
We want the president to help everybody, just as he's helping the rural community. When he rolled out in the past few days, he went to small towns and rural communities, and he went with a plan. And that plan was to invest money in those rural communities in order to develop jobs. We like that. And we want the rural poor to be attended to, but we also want the urban poor to be attended to. That's all we're saying.
I know you know this number, Congressman Lewis, 16%. That is African-American unemployment in the United States nationwide. It is 7 points higher than the national average. Did it give you pause at all when the president hopped on this bus, talked all about jobs this week, but he went straight to the rural Midwest?
Well, we must convince the president and urge the president, come to the large urban centers, not just in the Northeast, but also in the heart of the American South, but also visit the Southwest, where hundreds and thousands of our brown brothers and sisters, Latinos, cannot find work. Go and visit with Native American. We're all in the same boat. Black, white, Latino, Asian American, and Native American. We're one people, we're one family, we're one house. And we want to work with this president to create jobs.
Congressman Lewis, does it disappoint you? Is that an appropriate word? Does it disappoint you at all that he went to the Midwest and not to these urban centers?
Well, I'm not disappointed. I will not become disappointed because I'm always hopeful, always optimistic. Our responsibility, our job right now is to say to the president, to the leaders of Congress, let's pass a comprehensive jobs bill. And help all of our people.
Let's talk about that.
Get jobs.
Yeah, no, according to our own reporting in terms of this job bill, we're hearing that the jobs package that the president does plan to unveil next month, it will call for targeted tax cuts for employers, also new national infrastructure investments in long-term help for all these people who are out of work. Given, though, what we have seen and heard from Republicans, they won't approve any new spending. So, sir, do you think that this legislation would even get a chance of getting passed?
Well, it is my hope and my prayer that the Republican members of the House and the Senate are listening to the people the same way that we're listening, and they're hearing the same thing, to create jobs. I don't see how any politician, be Republican, a Democrat, independent, conservative, liberal, progressive, or whatever, cannot see the pain and hear the moan and groan of a desperate people.
Congressman John Lewis there. I hear the loud noise. A lot of people, I can tell, in need of jobs just in that one city where you are. Thank you so much, sir. Live in Georgia.